Today we're talking about Audiio.com, a brand new royalty-free music licensing service for freelancers, filmmakers and YouTubers. You'll learn what I think of the quality of the music they offer and their pricing. Because I included so much information, I had to split this video into two halves, so make sure you watch both of them. In the second part, we'll compare it to other platforms like Epidemic Sound, MusicBed and Artlist. Finding music can be difficult and frustrating, and that's why it is super useful to have access to a music licensing service. You never run the risk of getting a copyright strike or someone demonetizing your video, which saves you a lot of headache. You probably have heard of a bunch of licensing platforms. Now there's a new kid on the block which is called Audiio.com, and at the moment they have a value for money offer like none of the competitors. Before we dive deeper into details, here's a few things to get out of the way first. This is not a sponsored review, but my honest personal opinion. However, they did give me access to their platform and they offered a giveaway to my viewers, which is awesome. So if you want to check out Audiio.com after watching this review, we are giving away one subscription. All you gotta do is subscribe to my channel and sign up with the link in the description and comment your username on this video and what are you gonna use it for, and you will enter the giveaway. If you want to increase your chances, just comment a song you like from their platform. You have unlimited entries. There's also an affiliate link included, so you can get 20% off and get a kickback for everyone who signs up. So everybody wins. Sounds good, doesn't it? So let's dive right into it. At the moment, this is without a doubt the most affordable of all music licensing platforms. For $299 you get unlimited lifetime access to a couple thousand curated songs. So you're not only limited to sharing on YouTube or social media, it covers everything. So you can use it for client work, freelance or whatever you like. I haven't seen any other platform doing that at a fixed one-off fee. Why do I think it's such a good deal? It isn't only super affordable, but I think the music on average is actually quite good, but we'll get into that later. Alright, so let's check out the platform. So it is super intuitive and super easy to navigate. So once you enter here, you'll see what's new, basically new music they have uploaded. You have certain playlists here or certain genres, which is pretty cool. So what I like to do is I like to hit the browse feature, and then I can select and filter the music by like a particular genre and mood. So if I'm looking for aggressive music or chill music or I don't know, exciting music, I could like tick or untick like several of those. That's pretty cool and kind of narrow down the selection. Element is also something that is like quite interesting. So if I'm looking for like a guitar song in particular, then this would give me all the guitar music, and then I could combine it with a, I don't know, like a chill guitar music, for example, and that would narrow it down to, I guess, slower songs. So that's a nice way to filter. Energy, I guess it's kind of like beats per minute. So low energy obviously is a slower song, and then high energy is a faster song. A pretty cool thing is like that within these waveforms you can kind of see what's going on in the song. So for example, here on this particular song I see there's a beat drop. The beat drops here and then the music starts to pick up again here. So that's quite useful, and it's incredibly fast to navigate that. So if I skip through the song here, it buffers in no time. That is something that was quite obvious when I first started using it. It's like, look at that, it's like replaying immediately. Whereas with other platforms, it usually kind of takes a while. It has this like, sometimes it's like 20-second lag or whatever. So it makes it a bit more inconvenient to navigate, which is super, super cool. And then what else do we have here? Vocals. Yeah, so if you're looking for a female vocal, you have that. There's a ton of these like filter functions, which is really, really good. Duration of the song. So if you need a super, super short song, you can set that filter here. Or if you need a song that is like much longer. And then some of the songs, they will have instrumental versions and vocal versions, which I always find pretty useful. So for example, if you would want to check out both versions of this particular song, what is it called? Locked Out. So you see the normal version is here, and then you have Locked Out Instrumental. So some of these songs have it, others don't have it, but I always find it quite useful to have instrumentals. Then you can get rid of all those filters here. It's pretty cool. So next up, the playlist function. There's a couple of curated playlists. You can see this is kind of basic still, which is, I guess, not that big of a deal considering how amazing the filter functions are. And I would assume they would probably add more features here and curate more playlists and probably onboard creators to, select their favorite songs as well. Oh, you can choose your own favorites. So for example, if I would want to save that particular song, I could activate that heart button right here, and then it shows up in your favorites, which is pretty cool. And the same goes for the sound effects. I just haven't put any heart buttons there. And the cool thing is, if I want to download that song and use in my project, I hit the download button right here. Then I would select what I am using it for. So for example, it is for, let's say, YouTube, non-profit, on the internet, and I could create a license for that. But then if I would also use the same song for a wedding or a client work, then I would have to select the appropriate category and then create a license for that particular category. So that's like kind of the speciality on that platform. Then I could download the song right here, boom. So another cool thing is you have all the music in one place. So for example, if you want to re-download that song or whatever, you can hit the download button here or generate the license again if a client is asking for it. And then you receive a PDF which has your license number and the particular license type, which is super useful. Where is some room for improvement? Well, what I notice is that at the moment they don't really have playlists which are curated by someone, but I personally don't really care too much about that, so it's not a deal breaker. Now you would think, alright, they're giving me incentives because the music selection is a bit more limited when compared to other platforms. And that is probably true to a certain extent, but considering they are simply a younger platform, I personally think that the quality of music on average was better. So in other words, the kind of music I had searched for and that I tend to use for my personal taste, for my personal style of video, I thought on average I had to skip through less songs before I decided, wow, this is a cool one, let's download that. So when I opened the platform, I think on average I liked almost every second or third song, which is rare for me personally. When I browse other platforms like Artlist or Epidemic Sound, I sometimes have to browse through like 10 songs or more until I actually like one. So yeah, maybe I was a bit lucky, but the quality of music on the first glance seems great, and it seems like quality over quantity is key here. The next topic is sound effects. Now these are available separately and they cost $199 and you can access that by clicking SFX on the top here. You have a bunch of cinematic collections which are kind of pre-selected sounds for a particular mood or whatever. So this one is called Momentum. So you have standard stuff like hits, risers and so on, this kind of like ambience type of music. And then you can filter them by duration. Once again, apply the filter here, which is interesting. Or you can hit these particular filters right here. So for example, transition, accent, cinematic, or multiple of those, which is cool. So this would filter through a cinematic transition, I guess. And then there is also other categories, for example, which are pretty cool. So if you're making a trailer, I would probably look into this hits and risers connection. If I'm making a Hollywood trailer, then I can replay that here. And once again, just hit that download button and then I would get that hit. Note that there is no, Right, and say if I'm looking for a particular mood of the video, so say I shot a video in the middle of the city, then probably that category transportation is pretty good. And say I want to get sound of like city noise or whatever, then I could check out a car passing by or a car horn and all types of like other transportation category type of sounds, so something like an airplane or a truck. So that gives you like multiple types of vehicles or whatever. It is not like super crazy. There's not like 100 different types of motorcycles here or 100 different types of cars, but there is a fair amount of car sounds. Right, so these are the pre-organized categories which are useful, but even more useful is the search all function. That is kind of hidden away here. Don't know why. So here you could say, all right, I see this is in beta. So here you could just say like car, and then it would give you everything that is like related to a car, which is pretty cool. That works well. And then you could filter it by whether it is a truck or whether it is a van, which is obviously a different type of car, right? And or if I would want to search something, if I just shot a section by the beach, and if I want to search for beach, I could get like oceanside, city pier. That's also very cool if you use sound design in your videos, and I believe that is a feature that they only recently had rolled out. So what I noticed is that the sound effect library wasn't super massive yet. So at the same time, I don't think it's necessary to have like 100 different nuances of every single sound effect every single time, because it just gets cluttered. So what's the verdict? In my honest opinion, it is a solid choice. However, I think it greatly depends on what you're looking for and if you need a commercial license or not. And I think that will determine whether it is an awesome, perfect fit for you or it is a pretty good choice. But no matter what your preference is, I think it's a pretty solid deal either way. So if you're getting started on YouTube or filmmaking, chances are you're investing in gear, knowledge, and all that stuff at the moment. A lifetime license on this platform is very low price compared to investing in a camera or lens or even an online course. So if you're looking for cool music and have more convenience and want to lock in a super competitive price, the music licensing thing is a sweet deal, and I can recommend it based on my short trial of the platform. If you are a business or freelancer and want to use it commercially, in my opinion, it is an absolute no-brainer, even if you have access to other platforms already. If you would purchase licenses on a song-to-song basis, you would reach that in no time. In comparison, a commercial license at Epidemic Sound or MusicBed starts around $100, so you can purchase 3 songs and you'll reach that price. So it's a no-brainer. If the biggest possible choice of music is your main priority and you don't care about commercial use at all, then probably go for Epidemic Sound instead. But be aware that lots of their popular tracks are super overused on YouTube nowadays, and unfortunately they're not that unique anymore. The sound effects are definitely useful and convenient, but at the moment it is debatable whether I would personally pay $199 for it. I hope they will add some more to the library, but what is a fact that it seems better than what the competitor Artlist offers, because they would charge you a monthly fee for sound effects. Now, is there a risk overall? Well, you could argue that there is a certain risk buying into a young startup company. So in a hypothetical scenario that their business model would not be sustainable and they would shut down for some reason, well, yeah, maybe there would be some uncertainty or whatever. But to be honest, the same could happen to the other competitors as well, as they're all like relatively young startup companies per se. So for me personally, I would be willing to take that risk as an early adopter, as I think the benefits greatly outweigh the risk. Are there any other risks? Well, I think the biggest risk probably is receiving a copyright strike on YouTube, despite the fact that you actually have paid for a license. I haven't used the license long enough to tell, but it has never happened to me on other platforms. So I think it's relatively safe to assume that Audiio will probably also handle this equally professionally, but I can't speak from personal experience. Again, feel free to check out their platform. If you use the affiliate link and coupon code ERIC20, that gets you 20% off, so it is even cheaper. Make sure you don't miss out on the next video, because I'll be comparing their service to all of the competitors like Artlist, Epidemic Sound and MusicBed, and I'll put that video somewhere on the screen, probably here or here. No, I'll put it here. Tell me if I have missed anything, hit the thumbs up if you found that useful, and I catch you on my next video.